It's time for a little something different. Carrying on from our story of the day about Princess Anne and her bruised bananas, it's got us thinking, when's the best time to eat fruit in their life cycle? Some people like them ultra ripe, others like them barely ripe. Look at it this way. When an avocado goes bruised, most people chuck them away. But are we missing a trick? Is this actually peak time for fruit eating, when fruit is towards the end of its life? Well, there was only one woman for this, one woman and one woman alone. Vanessa Sturman, we like her on this show, a plant-based health coach at Energize and Thrive Plant Base. I asked her the very important question. I said, Vanessa, can you eat bruised fruit?
Mostly, yes. It's okay to eat some bruised fruit if it is actually just bruising. You know, it might be a bit more ripe, it might be sweeter, but if you have, say, a lot of black in an avocado, it could actually be bad or moldy. So you do want to use your nose and make sure if it smells moldy, if it is moldy, don't eat it. But you get some bruising on an avocado and you can just cut those bits out.
Nothing worse than a mouldy avocado, I wouldn't have thought.
Oh, it's really not nice at all, which is why we're given this wonderful nose as well to tell us, ooh, that doesn't smell so good. I probably shouldn't have that.
Ah, I see. The nose comes into this game, and so do our taste buds, because we have to trust our taste buds too, do you think?
We do have to trust our taste buds, but there is a bit of personal preference because you can eat a banana that's very, very ripe, as we know Princess Anne likes to do. And, you know, it does taste sweeter, and that's great. But you can also have bananas that are unripe, and you actually get more of the something called starch resistance in that, which is really good for our gut. But it's great for our gut no matter what stage you really have it, as long as it's not off.
Yes, Princess Anne says bruised bananas are better to digest. Has she got a point there?
She has a point. Now, if you are struggling with some gut issues and you're kind of building up the amount of fibre you have in your diet, yes, you might want to go for the more ripe fruit. But it's perfectly healthy to have fruit that's not ripe. Although there are a few pieces of fruit that are dangerous if they're not ripe, things like lychee and ackee, which are not massively commonly eaten all the time. Ackee is actually the national fruit of Jamaica. It's really, really wonderful. You get it a lot in tins, but you don't want to have that unripe because that can be dangerous.
Funny things, bananas, really, aren't they? Because you can eat them, and lots of people have lots of different preferences. You can eat them from virtually any stage, green to black and yellow in between.
Pretty much, again, as long as we don't have the mold and things like that. But bananas are wonderful because, you know, we can make a banana bread if the bananas have gone really mushy and you don't want to eat them yourself. You know, you can put them in a smoothie, which is wonderful. And you can have them not so ripe. But like I said, you know, those people who might just be building up how much fruit they have, they may not digest them so well if they're not ripe.
Yeah. Mould is bad. Sour's pretty awful as well, isn't it?
That's right. You know, if we bite into something and it's fizzing in our mouths,
Oof.
You know, that's telling us it's definitely gone to a stage that we don't want to have it. And that's why, you know, our nose, even our eyes, our taste buds, all of those start to give us clues when we're looking at this food about whether or not we should eat it.
So why is mould good for some cheeses then, if it's no good for anything else?
Well, I'm not sure it's necessarily good on cheese. I mean, it depends on the type of mold, doesn't it? Because it depends what you call it. So fungus is a huge range in terms of what that can look like. And that might be present in some food on purpose, for example, and that's been done in a very safe way. But then if something's growing additional mold, that might be something that we want to say, no, I'm not going to have that. That wasn't meant to be there.
Yes. So what's the peak time to eat fruit, do you think?
Oh, I don't necessarily want to say there's an exact peak time, but, you know, our taste buds are telling us, you know, sweet things taste lovely. That doesn't mean we want to go out and eat a load of refined sugar, but when fruit tastes wonderfully sweet, that's very pleasurable for us. So that could be a time where we think, actually, that's a lovely point to eat fruit, but you get different advantages at different points. It's easier to digest when it's gone more ripe, but some people don't like it so much like that. But you're going to get more of the wonderful fiber that feeds your gut in a different way when it's not so ripe. So personally, I like fruit when it's got that lovely sweetness, but I don't like it too soft and squishy. But that's also my preference. However, like I said, our taste buds, where that, the sweet taste buds get stimulated, that's also a good sign to say this fruit is a brilliant point to eat at. But it's okay to have your own preferences as long as you're not eating fruit that's going to be off or dangerous for you.
I've been making notes, as always, because I'm a good boy in this class. That's why I sit at the front right next to you. And I've got
That's
the following.
right.
I've got the following. It's great to eat fruit, so keep on eating fruit. Trust your nose. Trust your taste buds. There's not necessarily a peak time for fruit eating, and if Princess Anne wants to eat black bananas, she flipping well can.
That sounds brilliant. Top of the class.
How about that? Top of the class, you heard her. That's a virtual gold star for me, and do you know what? I've been doing broadcasting, this radio malarkey, for 628 years. That's the first time I've been top of the class with a gold star. That was plant-based health coach at Energize and Thrive Plant-Based, Vanessa Sturman, with the do's and don'ts of eating overripe. Trust your nose, trust your taste buds. That's the drill. You'll be all right.